Double Dragon, an arcade that iiRcade really built their name around early on. I mean, if you remember the promotional materials, I think it was their first custom skinned cabinet, or at least themed for one particular game over at iiRcade. It was Double Dragon. I mean, that was really the title that they landed with. It looks like if this video and this data source is to be believed, we're likely to get an Arcade1up Double Dragon this summer, which I think is pretty exciting. It's completely out of the blue. I don't recall ever seeing any hint or insinuation of a Double Dragon from Arcade1up, although they have talked about sharing licenses with iiRcade. There might be some level of partnership there, and I want to talk about that in a minute. This news comes from a YouTube user named Big Reese, so give that name's kind of funny to say out loud. Give his channel some love. I'll put a link below. He's got a nice video about it, and you can take a look. I wasn't clear on exactly what his data source is. It's some kind of inventory system for a retailer. I didn't catch which retailer. If he mentioned it, I might have just missed it because of the accent, or I was kind of skimming through the video. So I don't know which retailer this is. I also know that those listings are not foolproof. They can get a SKU created for an upcoming product that never materializes. So, I don't believe this is 100% confirmation of Double Dragon. However, it is really, really good evidence that this is real and it is coming. So big shout out to my man Big Reese for breaking this. Again, take a look at his video. Give his channel some love. He's got some other videos too on home arcade stuff. And I like his format where he's walking outside like some kind of desert and talking. I'm going to do more stuff like that. I think when I finally get into the new house, I'll have my room set up. I'll have my camera on a lot more, and we'll get a little more personal with things. Anyway, the iiRcade Arcade1up connection. So iiRcade continues to raise a lot of funding from what are called venture capitalists, basically investors that want to put money into a company with the hope of rapid, dramatic growth, because they want to capitalize on this mania around arcade gaming in the home, and they should. I think I read a metric the other day that Arcade1up now has sold more in-home cabinets than sold real cabinets back in the day. I mean, that is mind-blowing if that's true. At 3 million cabinets. I know it's apples and oranges, they're a lot cheaper, but that's the future of arcade gaming, is in the home. Yeah, there's Dave & Buster's. Yeah, there's barcades. There's other things. But home arcades are really where the volume is. Anyway, I say all that to say this. iiRcade's raising money. They're probably losing quite a bit of money still. It'll probably be a while before they can turn a profit, and they're going to have to grow a lot. Well, if they've done a lot of work getting licenses, and if Arcade1up, I mean, listen, I made that video, and not a lot of you guys watched it, but the video about Arcade1up, they had their heyday with the shutdown. Everyone has arcades at home. This might be the time for iiRcade and AtGames to break out bigger than they are, because they've got these online storefront infrastructures. They can sell you services and or games, especially with iiRcade. They're selling you games. Arcade1up doesn't have that. And Arcade1up doesn't seem to be big on developing a lot of internal capabilities for this stuff. They're exactly the kind of company that if I was running iiRcade and I wanted to sell my company, because I'm thinking, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to sell enough cabinets to really make the $50, $100 million in annual revenue that I need to justify all this investment I brought in. I'd be thinking, can I sell this thing to Arcade1up? Can we get our investors involved to do some kind of roll up, do a merging here so that Arcade1up benefits from my store infrastructure? Because guess what? Selling individual cabinets, that might not be the future with freight and materials costing what they are. It's part of it, but how can we get more value into the home? How can we get people's dollars without having to ship them a giant arcade? And that was the point of that video I did. And maybe I just didn't do a clear enough job explaining it. But look, I'm telling you guys, sure as hell, that is not the future if these prices keep going up. Being able to sell 3 million cabinets for a few $100 a piece, nope, ain't going to work, because it's going to be too expensive to get them shipped into the store and into your home. So they're going to have to raise the price, but then how can they raise the value? Well, Arcade1up has not been able to deliver an online gaming store other than their Infinity Games table, but they've shown no plans so far to bring that to their arcade cabinets. That's what would need to change. So I'm simply saying, if Arcade1up and iiRcade are working together in some way to share licenses, and maybe they're not, maybe they're just both independently approaching the licensor. It just seems like there's a little bit of a cozy relationship there. If there was a way to get iiRcade's very nice online store into an Arcade1up cabinet, in some way, shape, or form, I think that would be smart. As it stands in this video announcement for Double Dragon, the guy on this video points out, we don't know what games we're getting, but everyone can probably expect a few games. And that's exciting to have a Double Dragon cabinet, but how much are we willing to spend on a Double Dragon cabinet? I mean, I'm personally not a huge Double Dragon fan. It's fun. I remember playing it on Atari Lynx, of all places, when I was a kid, which is super random. You know, some of you might have played it in arcade or NES, but no, your boy was playing it on Atari Lynx like a goofball. Fun game. I don't know that I would want to dedicate a whole cabinet to it. I'm just not sure. I think Dragon's Lair is more exciting, even though the game itself is less fun. But, you know, if Arcade1up could put out cabinets from some of the Sega titles, like Alien Storm, that iiRcade have glommed onto, if iiRcade could get some of Arcade1up's licenses in their library, you know, how nice would that be if you could download Golden Axe and stuff like that? That would be fantastic. This is exciting. I think Double Dragon probably is likely. This source looks legit, but we'll have to wait and see. My hope is we do get into a world where Arcade1up and iiRcade work together in some way, because I think the market size here isn't infinite, and I think some of these companies working together in some ways probably needs to happen. But yeah, that's the update. Hope you enjoyed. I'll put a link below to the original video where this news was broken. And if you have comments, let me know. It helps with the algorithm. Hit the like button. And do make sure you're subscribed for home and arcade news and reviews. I'll talk to you soon.